Okay, so good morning to everyone. In the previous class, I have talked about the constructor and we have started about this, but due to some connections problem, that's why I will again repeat that class. That is basically we are discussing about that how the convention or the keywords meaning of each of the keywords meaning of our first, we will see the first program and all the keywords that is present, what is their meaning, we will see today. So first, before starting that, I will say that when we have to do the programming, then we have to, for Java, we will have to install the JDK first. First, we have to install the JDK, and after the installing the JDK, we will have to set the path. In the lab class, I will show that. So this is how it can be done, that first we have to install the JDK, and after that there will be the path. In that path you have to copy it, and after that you will do the programming in the command prompt. So now basically here you see the first simple program. In this simple program you see the how we can write. First, this class keyword should be used. A class keyword should be used, and after that the name of the class should be there. Here I have used ABC. You can do any name, you can give any of that name. So first the class keyword will be there, and after that class keyword, there the class name will be present. Then each and everything in Java we write inside the class. So each and everything should be written inside the class. So we already know that what that class is the combination of variable and method. So that means the method or the variables, each and everything should be present inside the class. So here this is a simple program that we give the name, that class, then the class name. And inside the class, this is we have written that public static void main. Now for Java, in C, we use the main function, same main function. In the same main function, we use like that in Java, that is public static void main. We write like this, public static void main. And in the arguments list, we use string args. Now this is the name of the variable. You can use anything, but mainly in each and every book, you will see that it is written ARGS, but it is not like that you have to always use ARGS. You can write anything, any name of variable, because this is what, this is the arguments, and this is a string type we are passing as the arguments. And inside this main functions, what we have written, system.out.println. Now this is what, this is about the like working like printf. That means in C we use printf. Instead in Java we use the system.out.println function for printing any value or printing any variable or printing a statement. We use system.out.println. And here you see we have printed the hello world. So this is what the simple program you see. Now, each of these has some meaning. Each of these has some meaning. So first, when we will write this program in the notepad, first we will write this total program in the notepad. And after we will write the program, then we will save that program. We will save that program class name.java. That means here you see I have used ABC as the class name. So that means when you will save the program, we have to use abc.java. That means the class name, and the when you will save the program, that name should be same. That means class name dot java. So that's why it is written that class name should match with the file name. After that, we have to go to the command prompt and navigate the position where the particular file is saved. First, we have to go to inside the command prompt, and we have to navigate the position we have to navigate the position where the particular file is saved. Now, which command we use, using which command we will go there? We'll go there using cd command. Now, let's say we have saved this file inside the documents. Let's say we have saved this file inside the documents. Then we have to move to the documents directory. That means when we will do, then we will use the command cd. Cd command means C means change, D means directory. So we have to use change directory command. And using this change directory command, we will move where? We will move to the particular position. Now, we will write, after moving that particular position, we will write the command javac. Javac means when we have to compile the program. When we have to compile the program, we will use javac. Javac stands for Java compiler. That's why when we compile, we use javac. Javac, then the file name .java. So for compilation, we will use the code javac, then the file name, then .java. So if there is no error on your program, the compilation will continue, and what it will be? A bytecode. We all know after compilation, bytecode is created. So when we will compile, a bytecode will be created. Now bytecode means what? The bytecode, I have said that bytecode will have the extension .class file. So extension will be that bytecode .class. Now if there is no error, then only the bytecode will be created. Otherwise it will show that the problem or the error it will show. But if there is no error, in that case, the .class file will be created. And it is what? It is the bytecode. So after compilation, what we will do? After compilation, we will run the program. So running the program, we use command. What command we use? Java, then the file name. First, we'll write Java, then the file name. We will write like that. So after running this, what it will be execute? It will execute. That means this will print hello world. So this is the step, or this is the process how a Java program is compiled, and the Java program after compilation we run and see the output. The details when I will show you in the lab class that how the installation process should be done. I will show you there. But this is the process, or this is the steps which should be followed. Now we will move to what are the each and every keyword meaning of this program. Now first we have written class. This class keyword is used to declare the class. Each and every class keyword should be used to declare that class. Now, after that class, we use the class name. So name of the class should be given. Then public. Now in Java, there are three access modifier. We say this is a 3-access modifier. That is private, public, private, protected. 3-access modifier is present. Now public means what? If you give public variable before variable, if you give public, or before any method you give public, that means this method or this variable can be accessed from outside of the class. Let's say we are we have to access, we have other class present, we have different class present, and from that class we want to access this method we want to access, then we have to use public. Because public means what? Public means it can be accessed from anywhere. it can be accessed from any outside of the class. It can be accessed from any class or any outside of the class. It can be accessed. Now, then why we use for main, we use public? Because each and every time if you write main, then always write public. Because when the program is initially compiled, so when the program is initially compiled, in that time, JVM, Java Virtual Machine, will call this method. When initially compiled, at first, this method is called because it is the main. So main is the entry point of any program. Entry point of any program. So that means what? When the program is initially compiled, in that time, JVM will call this method. Java Virtual Machine will call this method. And JVM will call this method. Now, until and unless, if it is not public, if we didn't use the name as the, or if you didn't declare it as a public, JVM will not able to call it, because at first there is no, from outside of the class is calling. So if until and unless we didn't give it public, then the JVM cannot able to call this method. So always remember that for main we use the public. Now, what are about the other two access modifier, that is private and protected? Now, private means what? This method, if before any method private is given, or before any variable private is given, that means that method or that variable can only be accessed within this class. It cannot be accessed from outside. It cannot be accessed from outside. It can be called within this class only. It can be called outside from the class. And protected means what? Protected means that it can be called from other class also. But there is a condition that from the class which we are calling this method, that class and this class should be present inside the same package. Should be present inside the same package. Then only it can be called. But otherwise it cannot be called. So for public, it can be called from anywhere. Private means it can only be called within the particular class. And protected means what? Protected means it can be called from any other class also. But that class and this particular class should be present inside the same package. Okay? Clear till now? Yes. Anyone has any question? Okay. So this is that's why we always use public main functions as the public. Then next keyword, static. Why we use static keyword? Now, if this method doesn't belong to an object, if we use before giving any method static keyword, that means that method is not associated any object. Means this method we already seen in the constructor that first what we do, first we in the main we create a class object, and through this class object we call the particular method. In the class the method is present, we call this method with this our class object. But if we give static before any method, that means this method can be called without creating an object. Then why we use static? Because mainly first time when the compilation is done, JVM first call this method. So at that particular time, JVM is not associated, or JVM is what? there is no class, no object execution of the program. There is no object execution, no class is present, so object is not created till now. So it is not associated with any object at the first time when JVM call it. Because JVM first, it called this method first. So it is not seeing any class or object concept. So in that time, that's why we use the static keyword before main, because it is calling at the first time. If we didn't use static, that means a class should be created, then through object, that class object, we can call this method. But first time there is no class or no object. So that means what? That means this method is not associated any object. It can be called without creating the object of the class. And that's why JVM first time it is calling this. So that's why we use the static keyword for main. This is the meaning, and that's why we use static before main. Then next is void. So void means, you already know that void means return type. What is the return type? If the void,
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Bolo.
Sir, can you please repeat once static word?
Okay. Static keyword. Now, basically, you see why you use static. So if static is given before any method, that means we know in Java what we've done, class object is created, and through object we call the method. That's the reason that's we are already done that first class object we created, and through object we call the method. But if static before any method static keyword is given, that means that method is not associated. Because if we want to call this method, then that time we didn't have to create that class object, and through object this method can be called. That's not the problem, because this method can be accessed. If we use the static keyword, then this method can be accessed without creating the class object. Without creating the class object, we can call this method. There is no necessary, that means, let's say we have to create ABC, and through first we create that, let's say new ABC equal to, like that, the object created. So object creation is not necessary, because if it is object created, then let's say ABC, we like the object, how we object created, first the name, class name, then the object we given, let's say C, the name of the object, and equal to new ABC. Like this, the object should be created of this ABC class, and through the object, what is the object created? This C is the object. So using C, this main method should be called. Like that, we have seen that through object creation, through object, we call the method. But if we give static, that means this method, it is not necessary to create a class object, and through that object, we have to call the method. This is not necessary. Because if we give static, that means it is not associated any object. We can call this method without creating the object. Without creating the object, that method should be called. Now, the thing is that why we always use static before main? Because at the first time when JVM is calling, in that time it is not any object is created or any class object is created in that time. So how we can access that method if it is not given as the static? Because no class is created, no object is created. Directly JVM is calling the main method. So if we didn't give the static, then we didn't able to access this main method. So that's why before main, we always use static, because JVM first time it execute this. So that's why this method, before this method, main method, we use the static keyword. Okay, clear? It is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then next is what? Next is void. Void, you everyone know that. Because why void? If void means what? We use always void. Because void means what? Void means return type, nothing. And main is what? Main is the starting point. You always know that it is the starting point of the program or the code.
Sir, if we use int instead of void, then what happened?
No. If we use int, because at first time when you always doing, when we are using main at the first time, in that time there is no return type because we are not passing any values here. Till now we are not any passing values, so it is a starting point. So that's why we have to use always void here. Before main, we have to always use, because if we are using int main like this, int main means what? There is return type integer. Here we are not passing any values or not returning any values. That's why we have to use void here. Okay. Clear? Oh.
And sir, if we pass some value,
if at here we have in the main function, in Java, we didn't copy this syntax. This syntax doesn't look like this. In C, what you have done, it is not like that, because there is some convention and change in Java. So that's why there is no like this, because in Java you have already seen that some conventions are changed, because there is no pointer concept, there is no automatic garbage collection. That's why what? That's why some conventions are changed in Java. So that's why this is the convention you should write. This is the convention, or this is the syntax. This should be followed.
okay, sir.
Okay. Now, main is what? Main is the starting point of the program. Now, this string args. What is the meaning of this string args? In Java, there is what you pass an argument. It is the way that arguments should be passed. The arguments can be passed at the time of compilation. This is the advantage of Java. When there are two types the input can be taken. One is at the time of the compilation, and another one is the user-defined data type given the user scanner using the scanner class. We will see that this using these two types, the value can be given. Now, string args is what? In Java, we can pass arguments at the time of compilation. And this is called the command line argument. This is the command line argument. When we will see the command line argument program, in that time I will show you that at the time of compilation, also we can done giving the pass the arguments. We can able to give that. Okay. So this is the
data type of this argument.
String type, because in Java, why this is thing that in Java, whatever the value you give, whatever value you will give, all the values are taken in the Java as the string type. There is the concept we have wrapper class. This is the concept we have wrapper class. And in this wrapper class, some wrapper class is what some classes are present, which converts this string type into integer type, string type into another type. This is the main thing. And always remember in okay. So this is we always give as the string type. Okay. Then the meaning of this system dot out dot println. Now, system is what? System is the class name. System is the name of the class. It is the user-defined class, this system. And this system class is what? This system class is present in java.lang package. Now the package concept is what? Like in the C, you have header files. In that header files, all the predefined functions are present. Same as that, the package in Java, there is package. And this package consists of what? This package consists of classes. What classes? This is the user or predefined classes. This is the predefined classes that is present in the package. Now, if we have to use that, classes, same as that, for using that, if you relate it, when you done the programming in C, for let's say for using the printf and scanf function, for using printf or scanf function in your program, what you have done? You have used #include stdio.h, include the header file, because stdio.h is what? Standard input output header file. In this standard input output header file, the printf and scanf definition is mentioned. So you want to use in your program. That's why you use #include stdio.h. Same as that, when you have to use that, you have to use any class that is predefined class that is present inside that package. You have to import that package. Here we use import, but in C we use include. We use command include. Here we import. So this system class is what? This system class is present in java.lang package. This package name is what? There is the package name that is java.lang. Inside this java.lang package, this system class is present. Okay, so this system is the class. And out is what? Out is the static variable. Out is the static variable of type print stream. In the system class. Inside this class, in this system class, out is the static variable. And what is its type? Its type is print stream. That is, this out is present in the system class. And println is what? Println is the method. Println is the method used to print the string that is also present inside the system class. So this system's class out is the static variable, and println is what? Println is the method. It is the method to print the string on the console. That's why we use this system.out.println, and this hello world should be there. Then if we use this hello world should be printed. Okay.
Sir, what? Sir, ln represents what?
ln represents for new line. ln means next line. You use print directly. You can use print also. But print means what? Print means it directly print. But ln is what? ln we use means the next line.
Sir, and slash n means?
Huh?
Slash n.
Class n?
No, sir, slash. /n.
Oh, no, there is no concept of /n. In Java, there is no concept like we cannot write like this. The convention is different. /n is for new line that is used in the C, but here we use for ln. There is nothing we can write like this /n in Java.
So, but /t, there is concept of T.
Bolo?
/t, sir. The /t concept we use in Java.
No. /t concept is also we cannot use in Java. These concepts we cannot able to use here. The convention is different. It is different conventions or different syntax.
We know.
हाँ, तुम्हारा वॉइस थोड़ा ब्रेक हो रहा है, बोलो।
सर जो ये system.out.println फंक्शन है, इसके लिए हेडर फाइल इंपोर्ट नहीं करना पड़ता सर?
हाँ, हम तो नहीं लिखा है इधर, मगर इंपोर्ट करना पड़ता है। हम नहीं लिखे हैं, ये जो है नॉर्मल तुमको दिखाने के लिए हम नहीं लिखते, मगर प्रोग्राम करेंगे तब हमको लिखना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो हम यूज नहीं कर पाएंगे। कैसे यूज करेंगे? डायरेक्टली तो नहीं लिख सकते ना। ये हम ऐसे दिखाए हैं कि हर बिजनेस जो है हम नॉर्मल दिखा रहे हैं। इसके लिए तुमको इंपोर्ट java.lang, हम बोले कि सिस्टम जो है कौन से पैकेज में प्रेजेंट है, java.lang, तो वो पैकेज मुझे इंपोर्ट करना होगा। इंपोर्ट उसको लिखते हैं इंपोर्ट java.util.star बोल के, स्टार मीन्स ऑल द क्लासेस दैट इज प्रेजेंट। और तुम डायरेक्टली भी मेंशन कर सकते हो इंपोर्ट java.util.lang, ऐसे भी करके मेंशन कर सकते हो। वो है, वो हम दिखाएंगे जब हम प्रोग्रामिंग करेंगे, तो प्रोग्रामिंग के टाइम में दिखाएंगे टोटल। हम ये एग्जांपल दिए इसीलिए हम नहीं लिखते, मगर इंपोर्ट करना जरूरी है। ओके, और एनी क्वेश्चंस?
सर लैपटॉप में प्रोग्रामिंग करके कब बताइएगा?
हम प्रोग्रामिंग करेंगे, लैब में ही दिखाएंगे तुम लोगों का। लैब तो है नेक्स्ट में, लैब के टाइम में हम दिखाएंगे। ट्यूसडे तुम लोगों का लैब है, ट्यूसडे। उस दिन हम इंस्टॉलेशन प्रोसेस कैसे इंस्टॉल करते हैं, टोटल इंस्टॉलेशन प्रोसेस भी दिखाएंगे। ओके, और एनीवन?
सर जो क्लास नेम लिए हैं एबी से है, तो स्मॉल लेटर शुरू में ले सकते हैं सर?
कोई भी ले सकते हो, मगर ये चीज याद रखना कि जो क्लास नेम होगा, जब प्रोग्राम सेव करोगे, वो क्लास नेम और तुम जो सेव कर रहे हो जिस टाइम, वो नेम सेम होना चाहिए, डिफरेंट नेम से नहीं होगा। तुम क्लास नेम में जो क्लास नेम का लिखे हो वो नेम, और तुम जब सेव करोगे प्रोग्राम को, उस नेम को सेम रहना चाहिए टोटल। मतलब ये केस सेंसिटिव का है, ठीक है? तुम एक में स्मॉल दिए और दूसरे में कैप्स में दिए, तब मैच नहीं करेगा। इसलिए जो नेम जैसे तरीके से तुम लिखते हो क्लास नेम, सेम सेम वे में तुम जब प्रोग्राम सेव करोगे, सेम वे और सेम थिंग you should write into the class name .java. The file name should be like this. Or anything? So it is clear to everyone all about all the keywords, the total keywords, each and every keywords meaning. It is clear? It is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So this is our, it is very much important because it is given that please mention each and every, sometimes it is given that each and every keywords meaning, why we write like this. So then you will explain like this, all these keywords explanation. Now we will start a new topic, that is the method overriding topic. A minute. Now we will start the another topic, that the concept of the inheritance. Now I have explained already when we started the Java programming that I have mentioned that we have some object-oriented feature. In this feature, we have already we have this manipulation. Another is of the object-oriented programming. That is the concept of inheritance. Now we will start today briefly about giving backwards about the inheritance. So inheritance is basically mechanism of the one. That means there will be class present, and from a class we can derive another class. So what is this meaning? Let's say we have class A. This is a class, and we have another class, that is class B. This two class. Now inheritance is the property that this class B, that is deriving a new class from the previous one. That means class A can contain some properties or behavior. That is what these properties and behavior will also be present in class B. These properties in the class A, some properties should be present in the class B also. That is the concept of inheritance. Reusability of the code. Reusability of the code. That means the properties that is present in class A, some of the properties, or we can say all the properties, either some of the properties or all the properties can be present in the class B also. And how it can be done? Using extend keywords. We will write for inheritance, we write the command extends. We write